what I've been doing, I decided I wanted to take a break from my regular crafting and just make something for Easter and just decorate for fun and for crafting. And here I am. I am Liz from Crafty Devotion, and I design mostly fabric crafts. I use fabric for almost everything I do. I always want to try and dabble in much more, but I don't have the time in my schedule. So, first things first is I want to let you know who I was inspired by, because I appreciate when people um, and basically give me a shout out when they were inspired by something I did. So I want to say who I was inspired by. It's called Hammond's Nest. I first saw Hammond's Nest on Facebook. I was just, it just came up on Facebook. Hello. And Hammond's Nest, she did a an egg that she wrapped, and she wrapped it something like this one. And then I said, "Well, that looks like fun." So I decided to go pick up some eggs so I can try it. And I tried it with this fabric because I like dark colors. I'm not like that typical Easter pinks and yellows and light blues, but I like darker colors. So I decided to try this fabric. And then I came up with my own way of doing it, which I always do. So, Hammond's Nest, you will find her on Facebook and YouTube. She has a YouTube channel. I just typed in Hammond's Nest and I found her on YouTube after I saw her on um, on Facebook. And she does have her own groups and her own page on Facebook. So this is what she did here. And this one right here is done bit differently. It is done kind of like you would do a rolled flower where you twist the fabric, and then it was wrapped I wrapped mine from the top all the way down, and that's how it came out. And I felt like I was using way too much fabric. It makes it a lot bigger, but I changed the way I'm doing it. So before we start doing these eggs, I do want to tell you that I don't know if I will do all of the crafts, but I'm going to tell you where I got these items that I'm using. So I basically just went to Dollar Tree to see what they had. And so at Dollar Tree, they had these, and they are craft eggs. And these are the bigger eggs. They had two sizes. They had a mini one and they had a bigger white egg. And there's 6 in the pack. And I just couldn't stop making them. I feel like I want to go buy more because it was just fun, just a fun thing, just experimenting with different things. So we're going to finish up these 4 today, but I'm going to start with one. And then the other thing that I picked up, let me see if I can find them. Here. This is also from Dollar Tree that I might use. I picked up this banner and it's bunnies. They're a pretty big bunny, but there's a lot of bunnies in this package, so I might use this for crafting. Um, then let's see. Oh, then it was for this bunny right here. It's so simple. I kind of changed it a little bit, but this is already pre-printed on the fabric for you. You can remove it. You can use this to make use it for anything, but they are from Dollar Tree fabric gift bags. Let me take it out of the bag so you can actually see that. Fabric gift bags, and they're really cute. They're kind of weak, like I really would. They're supposed to be made to put gifts in, but they're not very strong, so I kind of reinforced them and did few different things to them. I shaped the ears a little bit more, which is something we may do, and that's how I came up with this one. Then I put them on a stick, so you can be a decor in a vase or a bowl or whatever. Or if you leave them like without the stick, then you can put them in a bowl, something like that. So that was I might do that one in the future, but I wanted to show it to you since I had finished that one. The other thing I picked up at the Dollar Tree, which I'm going to decorate one of these. They're pretty big. These bunnies. Look at those, perfect for decorating and putting a little dress on, a little Easter dress on them, and making it lacy or, or not so lacy. And they had 2 colors. And these are not like really high quality. I feel like the arms might just come right off. So, but I'm going to still decorate them. They're great for decor. They are actually weighted here at the bottom so they can stand. So those are really cute. So those would be fun to decorate. Was there something else that I had forgotten. I know there was something else. Well, either way, those are the things that you can start with if you want to maybe use your own ideas and then come up with your own, and you can use some of my ideas that I came up with. And so we're going to go ahead and start with the Easter eggs. Let me show you. Okay, well, this is the one that that Hammond's Nest. Visit her channel. And then these are the ones the way I came up with doing them. This is the best one to show you. It comes out best if you use a small pattern fabric. This is just a pattern fabric that I just wrapped all the way around it, and I'll show you how I did that and tell you the dimensions of things I used. I tried different styles. Here's one with, this is a beautiful rose one that this is a fabric that you can get from Hobby Lobby. That other fabric was one that is a vintage fabric that I had. And then this is a Easter fabric, and I actually put some tulle over it afterwards. I wanted to see what it was like. And then these are all styrofoam, so you're able to put a stick on them, put them on. The stick is just a skewer. Look at my mess. You see that? It's because I'm experimenting. And this one, I wrapped in ribbon to see how the ribbon would work. And the ribbon I felt like was too thick, too wide. And then I tried experimenting with different embellishments. These are some Rococo floral trim that I carry in my Etsy shop. And this was a little scrap piece that was left. This is some trim I carry in my shop, and I was just experimenting with it and seeing what it came out like. And then this one is that same fabric I used over here on this one, but I wrapped it around this, and then I put some lace over, and I'll show you a little more about how I do it, but I'm just showing you the ones I came up with. And color schemes, they can all vary, and so this is how I made it. And I did experimenting on this side, putting a little bit of Mod Podge on it, and you actually can put Mod Podge on it and it'll stick it closer together if you want, but that's something we can talk about later. And then this one was my experiment using a stretch lace. This is a lace, and I figured this can look like put a bow at the bottom, and it looks pretty in the pot. And I just happen to have some very hot pink, and this is the same hot pink I think I put in the last pink kit that I had made. So we are going to start, and you can make these any style you want. So you don't have to go shabby chic. You can go boho, or you can go any color really. But then this is the one I just discovered last, and I want to make it so that it looks really pretty. This gorgeous lace right here. So I just got this in my shop, and I wanted to use this on them, and it looks gorgeous. I put it, oops, let me show you how I'm planning to use it like this on, but I want to change the fabric I'm using. See how pretty that looks? So if you want to make it very elegant, you can just use an elegant lace, and that's too busy, I think, so I don't want to use this, put it on this fabric. I want to put it on something with a little less busyness on it. So we're going to start, and I'm going to show you what to do. Now, what I found out is that you need to cut a strip of fabric. You can, if you cut it, it will be neater, but I tear my fabric. So the fabric pieces need to be about a 1/2 inch or smaller. See, this one is almost too big because it's over the 1/2 inch mark. So it's just a little bigger than 1/2 inch, but I liked 1/2 inch. So 1/2 inch or less is how wide I liked it. And it seemed to work best to put around the egg. Now, one of the things that if you're going to be using them like decor and put them on a skewer, you got to think about that's what I learned. I had to work really hard to get some of the skewers in because I put too much glue here at the bottom. So make sure that's one of the things I'm going to tell you why I'm showing you where to put the glue on it. So these ones I'm using with the pointy part of the egg on top and the thick part at the bottom. So the thick part is what you're going to be thinking about rather than the narrower pointy part. I'm going to take a sip of water. Um, I just noticed my glue gun is off, so I guess I could keep on talking because we're going to need my glue gun. I'm going to just show you and demonstrate. And you can go off. Those of you who don't need help and can want to just take off and do your own, I'm going to show you how to do it, and then I'm going to actually do it, okay? So what I decided to do is I'm using strips. You can use ribbon. You can use any type of fabric that you can cut this thin, about 1/2 inch. So a piece of ribbon would work. So this ribbon right here is a 1/2 inch ribbon, and it would work very well. Or you can use whatever fabric. But one of the things I like to do is I like to use what I have in my stash. And I hope a lot of you also like to do that. So this is what I came up with. I'm putting this, I started from the bottom, and I'm wrapping this way. Instead of round and round the egg, I'm wrapping this way. And you can use a little bit of glue, or you can use a little glue, or you can use a little more. So what I'm doing is I'm wrapping it, and then I'm twisting it right next when I come up. See? And then I'm going to come down this way, and I'm just going to keep on forming almost like an X and putting the fabric right opposite. And I'm just looking, and I'm overlapping the fabric. I'm going to show you closer and more quickly as soon as that glue gun warms up. So you can see that the next one, you can try to go this way, but if you do, it'll slip off. So you know that it needs to go right on this side. And look how pretty that's starting to look. It's just a very soft pink pattern on this fabric I'm using. And that's what I want. So you can see you almost don't even have to use that much glue. You can actually put decoupage over it afterwards if you want. And it doesn't slip that much. So, but I am overlapping. I'm going to overlap here. You might be able to see it better when I'm not putting a bunch of glue on it. So you can see how easy this is. And look how pretty that looks. And then you can go and decorate it as much as you want after that. See how simple this is? So you can go over to Hammond's Nest so you can learn how to do this one, which is very thick and with the rolled fabric. She has a tutorial with this method. And this is just my method, how I came up with it. So that you can see that there will be a little bit of extra, but I'm going to undo this because we're going to do it with actual glue. Since my glue gun's warming up, maybe I'll use my other glue, my cold glue. There's some. All right. I'll put this out and wait a couple of minutes before that glue gun warms up. I thought I had it on, but I guess I turned it off earlier. Okay, so remember, since the bottom is where you're going to be sticking your skewer in, maybe we should stick a hole so that it'll remind us. Let's do that. Okay, so if we put a hole in there, it'll remind us in the beginning, at least before you start, that you don't want glue over where that hole is going to go. So if I'm going to put glue, I'm going to overlap it on top, and I'm going to go and put it on this side. I'm going to use hot glue, ladies. I'm just using this for right now while if you have any questions, just let me know. And then I'm going to show you a lot of the tricks I was learning and experimenting with, and give you ideas so you can make these your own. Now, when I glue it here, I'm holding here, and then I'm going snugly so that there's very little curl. Now realize that when you tear your fabrics, there will be more curl. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you can stretch it a little bit, or cut your fabric instead of tearing it if it bothers you. Now when I'm coming here and I'm going to decide which direction to go, I can go on this side of the egg or this side. But I start planning it when I'm about here, so I can start turning my fabric towards that direction. So since we got to put, let me see if the glue gun's hot yet. Well, there's something on it. Oh, there's a little bit coming out. There you go. So I'm going to start planning right here what direction to go. And I'm also making sure it's not going right here where I'm going to put my stick if I want to use a stick. Okay. And then I kind of keep going upward And now I know it's going to be going on this side next. So I'm starting to angle it. I angle it first, and then I add my glue. This side, you don't have to, if you're not going to glue it, you can actually put it on top, on the pointy side. All right, see that? So I know it's going to go here. Now, if you want to, you can put more glue than that. And I try to put the glue on the fabric because these eggs seem to be able to handle the hot glue. Actually, I was surprised how well they're made and they handle that hot glue. Okay, so here, looking this way, you can see that here it's going, and now we're going to go this way. So I start thinking about angling my fabric that way without putting it right in that center. It's going to still be hard to poke the hole through it, but it's much harder when the glue was on it. Believe you me. And you can see if I leave it loose, it curls, but if I tighten it up, it's less curl. And plus when you overlap it too, it helps. I'm putting the glue, a little bit of glue here, which is actually not necessary. You saw me do it earlier where it really stayed. And then I stay here and I say, well, what angle am I going? I'm going that angle. And then I put a little glue. I'm actually putting the glue this time on the fabric. So pretty. So this really worked pretty easy, just to use scraps of fabric. You know me, I like to use scraps of fabric. All right, so say you don't have any styrofoam eggs and you're just going to use them as, you know, to put inside of a bowl. You can actually use a plastic egg, but it will slip and slide a little bit more. It's going to start slipping and sliding, and I'll show you later. Oh, wow, see what I did? I messed up. I'm not perfect. Okay, there we go. So this one, the other ones are all practice, just seeing if I liked what kind of fabric was the best choice, what other things I could use, and I was grabbing them. And this time I'm going to make this one actually be very uniform and look pretty the way I would like it to look. Okay. All right. If you have any questions, you may ask questions. I'll try and look at the comments. And what I want you guys to do is to make sure you guys can say hi to each other. And I don't have that many people on, but it is late, so that's okay. And most people watch my videos afterwards because I'm not a scheduler right now. I'm not planning like exact times. Actually, on my Facebook group, I was able to tell people, I told people ahead of time that it would be today. So that's as best as I'm going to do for right now, because I never know what's going to happen. So put a little glue here. See that? How pretty that's coming out. I like this one. I like the white with very little bit of pink on it. Okay, so look, this is how much is left. Can you see that? Little bit there. And it looks like I'm going to have to go over twice still, another time. So this is my way. I don't know if anybody else has done it this way. I really don't. I just know that this is the way I'm doing it. So when I'm pulling snug. I'm not just doing it real gently. I'm pulling snug. So it looks like this is the end and this is the tip. So I can put some on the tip. Put the fabric. I put too much glue on that one. Okay. Now I want you to use this idea and just to make it your own. Use what you have on your stash. Look how pretty that is. Okay, now when I was going to put the skewer in, the skewer on its own is not sharp enough to actually go through all those layers of fabric. So you're going to have to use something else. I was actually using this tool I just picked up at Dollar Tree. I was going to show you, but I don't see it here. So you can use a pair of sharp scissors. You can use what is this thing called? A seam ripper, and push it through. And that I was using a little tool I actually picked up at Dollar Tree. They have a little pointy tool there. But I don't know what I did with it. Now I'm going to go back and do it with the scissors. So whatever you have on hand, just poke a hole, and you're really poking a hole through the fabric, because once this goes through the fabric, it goes right into the, there, see that? All right, then over here, I'm going to use this, but I'm going to measure first. I'm going to decorate this one the way I think it's going to be pretty. And I decided I wanted to use this lace right here. I just listed this lace. I have I think 5 or 6 yards of it only. And that's usually what I do when I purchase laces. I purchase things that, and then I see if I like them. And I didn't think I was going to really like this lace, but I really do. It's really pretty, and it needs me to go a little further. Let's see, let me find a needle. I have this big old long needle. All right, so what you're going to do is I cut a piece of lace and I made it the right size for my egg, and I'm gathering it. So this is my same string that I used to tie my flowers. It's my crochet string that I'm using, but you can use a thicker thread or a regular thread if you're good at doing it. I use thicker threads and big needles because it's hard for me to thread the small needles. My eyes are not that good, and I just went in and out with this. And I was going to make a flower with it. That's why I already had it strung, and I said, ooh, that would be pretty on the egg. So there we go. So you can put this on any way you want, but I'm putting it on after I put the stick in. And I'm just gonna knot the string, and then I'll glue it. And you can do it the other way around too. You can put it on first along the top and then knot the string. It's up to you. All right, so this is what I'm doing. See that? So all the ones you saw over there were all practice, and this one is going to be a final one. And I'll probably take those practice ones and make them look prettier. So now I'm looking at how it's working and how it fits together, and I'm going to decide how I'm going to glue it. And see how high. I think I'm going to do a little stretch upward because I have plenty of space. I'm going to actually start from the opposite side of where the gathering is, and I'm going to start gluing it onto the egg a little bit. Let me see, where should I put the glue? I'm going to put it along here, along here. I put too much there, but oh well. And I'm going to pull straight up. Let's see what happens. So you're seeing this craft happening in in process. I knew I was going to put it on. I just didn't know how. So I'm putting glue where I cannot burn my fingers, where I have a place to grab it and it has enough space to get the glue, and I'm pulling upward. It's cute. I'm making sure I have enough, because as I'm pushing upward, it might be pulling it this way, so I'm going to barely have enough here. And usually the first one you make is sometimes the one that may be off by a little bit, and then you improve it. I'm stretching towards the end and pulling up. I'm stretching this way, and because I noticed that it was getting tighter and tighter here, like less fabric. So now I'm kind of pulling it this way because this lace has a little bit of a stretch. Okay. Alrighty. Now this is for you guys who can go off and decorate these on your own. You already saw what I'm doing. You can take my idea and take off, make your own. But those of you who want to see more about the other eggs, I showed you some of the things I learned about some of the other types of fabrics and laces I was using to decorate them. So this is going to barely fit now, which is okay. So I'm going to take, this is really frayed a bit. So I know that this frays now. So I might next time put a little glue on the edge before so it won't fray as I'm working with it. These are just things you learn as you are doing your crafts. So I'm going to try and glue this down. I should have gotten one of my tools so I don't burn myself, but I didn't really burn myself that much. See, I put some glue on it. Now this one I'm going to try and glue back that way. Okay. All right. All right. I think I noticed somebody actually found that lace and purchased some of this lace today. I listed it today and somebody purchased some. But I did share it, I think, on my Facebook. Okay. Now there we go. Is she gorgeous or what? I love her. Now what I would do also is possibly, I'm not going to do it now, but possibly put a bow here. You can decide to put a bow, any kind of bow that you want. If you make too much of a mess here, you glue it more down, or you can put something there, but you really can't tell much. You can't really tell. If I'm going to spin it so you could see if you could kind of tell. Find it, find it, find it, find it. So look how pretty that looks. I like it. I like how that looks. Okay. And so add a bow or something like that. All right. That's using this lace I have in my shop. I have a few yards right now. And that looks gorgeous. I'll probably make another one of those. All right. So now you saw how to wrap it. Let me see what else I was going to do next. Okay, now I'm going to show you some of the details I did on this one. Okay, so this one right here, it looks really pretty. I like the magenta pink. Let me show you the fabric. This fabric, I think I had it in my last pink kits where I had a bunch of fabric. I'll put it in my next one probably. And it's just a stretch lace. So if you find a stretch lace or you have one in your stash, that worked really well to wrap the entire egg. And there was very little wrinkle down here. And then I cut it short so it would give it a little flare and look like a bow or a little frizz down there. Okay, I'm not going to actually do it for you because I think you just need to cut the fabric the right size, and it would be based on your egg. So you need to measure it around your egg and then decide what size. Let me see what else I want to show you. Okay, this one right here. This one right here, I took a piece of tulle. And let me pull it up, this over here, piece of tulle. And I want to show you how the tulle works on this. Now, so this egg, I used a bright colored fabric, and it has you can see the colors that are in that fabric. I like this color, but say you want to tone this down. This is a lace. I think I also put some of this inside my other, and it's more like a tulle lace. So this is the lace you might find at Hobby Lobby or Walmart in the wedding section, and you might put it like a table runner, and it works really well for things. When you use it a lot, it softens up. It has a slight stiffness to it. And I just cut this. Let me tell you approximately for these eggs what size. I think it's 8 inches. It's about an 8-inch square, keeping in mind that one side stretches more than the other way. And then I just put it right over. And so this is a way for you to add some lace to your, and you can use any lace you have that works, because if it's a really stiff lace, it might not work. If it's not sheer enough, you might not be able to see through it. But you can see how that added more pink to this flower. Now we're into this flower, to this egg. Okay, and then watch how it changes. I have this really pretty tool, and this is a good quality one. It has little glitters in it, and watch when I put that on there. How pretty that looks. It gives that a different color. And you can take this and you can put it, this one right here, it's yellow, and I put a very light soft blue tool on it, and all it did was soften it, and you can actually see it really clear, but it gave you a little bit of a cute little thing here. I just used the string, but you can use a blue, make a blue bow, whatever you want with that. So that was my other idea, is to experiment with your things and put tulle over them if you want a little different look. And I like that look. I can actually see the glitter on that. And if you want to go more peacock, that's the way to go with the blue. Okay, that's that one. Oh no. Okay, so this, I think I really like, from all of these, I like the way the smaller little flowers look on it. You can see this one I experimented. It was a little wider than I wanted the strips to be. But you could use this, and you can make this into a vase, put it in with the bunnies that I showed you, the bunny. And you can put it in a vase and just decorate your table with them, or you can even put them around the house, put them in your plants, whatever. This one right here, I took this ribbon, and it's a little bit wider than a ½ inch. I think it's 5/8 or something like that. I felt like it was a little too wide. Plus, it has no stretch. I mean, cotton has stretch, right? This one had no stretch, so it was more, it showed more. You might have to use a little more glue closer to the edges, and I decided to go ahead and cover it. So I went ahead and got some of the Rococo type trim. I had a little piece that was left over, and I decided to add the lavender one on there. And then I said, ooh, what if I put another color over it? Then I got this idea. That maybe I can use the flat back pearls flowered one. That would have gone really pretty there too. See? Let me see. I carry flat back pearls in my shop. I've been trying to add colors, and really I start with a little bit, and then if it starts taking off, people start buying them, then I try to add more quantities. Like recently, I think I ran out of the 6mm. I'm trying to find 6mm in colors, and so I ran out of some of the colors already. So I'm going to start adding more into my shop. So you can decorate it with trims this way, or you can take it and decorate just one strip this way, half of an egg, depending on what you have. So you might do that with this one. Doesn't go, I don't think, with this, but it might go with another color. Okay, so this is a vintage fabric. This fabric right here is the fabric they sell at Hobby Lobby, and it's the one that has the teapots. And there's a teapot right there. You can see the little handle. So it actually doesn't work too bad. I didn't like how it just turned. I ended up with all beige in this little section. So that might be a place to take something like, show you my other idea, like this one. I've been working hard on trying to have like little like trims in my shop that have like little or small appliques that you can separate and take apart. So this one might work here where you decorate it with a cream little applique on it. That might work. And then these trims, I have a lot of thin trims in my shop too, so you can use them. So I really liked the solid fabric and then putting different things along this way. When I did this one, the the trim, I would have probably next time I do it, I would probably put the white trim first and then this one, depending on the thickness of it. So this is thicker, but I double layered it. This one I cut it right here and then I just put it along here. I I cut it here and then I cut it there. So that's how I put that one on. And I used hot glue with these for, I'm barely doing that. All right, make sure you guys start asking me any questions. I'm going to start looking to see if anybody has any questions. But that's really the simple one I started making right now. I think this bunny is probably the one I'm going to do next. It's really cute just to add. I could see you putting it sticking it in a plant also, or just putting it in a bowl. Um, and I just took that same bag that we saw here and I just manipulated it a little bit, but it's cute. You can put it in, to decorate your Easter basket or anything. They're actually made to put little gifts or treats in them, but they're really cute. But this would look cute covering something also. Um, I think that is all. I don't see any questions. So I'm going to do one more egg and then I will be done because I feel like I'm I'm trying to give you guys, inspire you to think of your own ways of doing stuff. And I'm also just experimenting with you guys here. Those of you who don't mind being up a little bit late, I'm going to do one more because that's really all. It was a very simple craft, but I saw her do it and she inspired me. And I said, I'm going to try one of those. And I just made it my own, like I always do. I'm looking for a certain fabric I cut that I wanted to use. Isn't that how it is? You lose it. You lose it. You lose it. Put this up there. Okay, I have this green one, but I wanted to use a different one that I don't see here. All right, we're going to have to use that one, I guess. That's not the one I wanted to use. I'm so messy. You see what a messy crafter I am? I lose everything. I'm going to look right by my feet to see if it fell down because I'm picking things up and putting them away because I'm so messy. You see how my brain works when I'm crafting? It just goes crazy and does weird things. And I experiment a lot. As you can see, all of those ones you saw were all experiments. Me practicing, trying different things. Well, you know what I'm going to do, because I really wanted to make it with that one. I'm going to cut it because I wanted to show you, those of you who are hanging on, that you could make a different style. Well, let's see. I'm going to cut the fabric again. All right, this is the fabric I was going to use. This is a cotton fabric I purchased at Hobby Lobby, I think. And it has words on it, and I don't know what the words are. And there. So I just cut it and tear it. So like I said, those of you who want it to be neater, then you guys, so you can use any color fabric you like, anything that goes with the decor that you have, what you have on hand. And here I go. All right, again, thinking about that bottom, I'm going to go ahead and start from the top here. So one of the things I want to remind you guys, those of you who are still here, is that I did open my shop off to most international places. If I don't have, if you're not able to purchase from me international, then let me know. Just know that if you purchase a lot of items from me, it might show high shipping, but if the shipping is less, I will reimburse you. I just had somebody order from Canada from me, and that's what happened. They their order was, gosh, I shouldn't, it showed really high shipping, so I'm going to go and check to see. Hopefully it costs less to ship it. Sometimes I don't, sometimes the calculations just don't come out right. When you order a lot of items from my shop, sometimes it starts using a different, it combines things in a weird way, and sometimes it's what I inputted and put in there as how much the item weighs when it's ready to ship, and sometimes it's just Etsy doing something weird and strange. One of the things is when you are using this, I was thinking about using my that crinkle type ribbon, the rayon seam binding, and I carry this in my shop. It's a right width, but I thought it was really thin, and it might not, it might like show through because it's so thin. So you might not want to use really thin um and thin ribbons or fabrics. So as you can see, I'm always going from the opposite side so that it, so now this one's going to look very shabby. It's going to look like it has, you know, a lot of words all over it. And then you can decorate it. I'm finding it's just as simple to decorate it with just the same rag as a bow. I probably won't, I'll probably just use up this fabric and then be done. But this is pretty simple. I felt like I just needed to give you those pointers about if you're going to use them the way I am, to not put the glue too close to that area, so you don't have to go through glue and fabric when you're trying to make the hole to um, decorate it. What I had bought this for is I was thinking I wanted to make a really boho kind of, or just vintage looking um, type little miniature dress, and I just haven't done it. Or maybe use this fabric for a wreath. I don't remember exactly what I was going to make with it, but I did purchase it and I said, hey, that's inspiring. Maybe I could use it for something. Well, today it's going on an egg. And you're really not using that much fabric on these eggs. And like I said, you can decoupage, you can, you know, not decoupage, because this is not decoupage. Decoupage would be using a napkin or using that decoupage glue first and then the fabric. But it is just gluing fabric on. But you can put um, Mod Podge over it when you're done. So I actually it almost covered the whole thing, just one strip. But when I use this, I might go ahead and use and so if you would run out of fabric, you could use a different kind of trim just to trim out these. So there's just a teeny tiny bit left here. So I could probably use a trim, a different lace or ribbon. Let's see. All I have is a peach. Oh, this one might go, huh? I was looking to see what I had. Actually, I think this, I would like adding this color. I love this color. It's one of my favorite trims. I like the color. I just haven't used it in a lot. So you can do it this way. And use what you have. That's what I keep on saying. Use what you have. A lot of us have this at the Dollar Tree. This is not the right color, but this little trim, it's at the Dollar Tree. So just put some of that on. Look how pretty that would look in the right color. in the right color. But it still looks pretty if you want to change it to both those colors. But see how shabby that looks with, like, if you put strips of paper on there with words, that's just beautiful. I like it. I like it. So depending on your preference, you can change the style to be, use gray, use brown, use pink, any style you like. But that's really all I had for you. I really wanted to just, show you how I was making these. And I'm going to probably end up decorating the rest of these with whatever fabric I have here. I'll probably put on them and have some fun. And maybe you guys can show me on in my Facebook group, Crafty Devotion Boutique. I love to see photos of the things that you've designed there. So that's the place where you can share photos with me of anything that I inspired you to design. This is Liz with Crafty Devotion. I hope you are inspired by this craft project, and I will talk to you guys next time.